Hi guys, welcome back. We shall continue about the type 3 respiratory failure. Now type 3 respiratory failure. Type 3 respiratory failure means it is known as peri or post operative atelectasis. Atelectasis means lung collapse, peri-operative means and post-operative means just after the surgery. Okay, now why we are saying about surgery? Because whenever you're doing a major surgery or you have been given general surgery, general anesthesia, you're lying down, you're in a sleeping position, in a supine position. What happens due to gravity? The basal segment of lungs collapse. Okay, so you can say that the basal lungs actually collapses. So what will happen if basal lung collapse? Obviously lung collapse, that means some part of the lung is been collapsed, that means some part of the lung is not working. So obviously the oxygen diffusion, oxygen carbon dioxide diffusion will be hampered, will not be efficient at what was a normal situation. Okay, so oxygen saturation So the oxygen saturation is reduced in type 3 respiratory failure. So how will you treat this? Okay, treatment is giving O2 support. Obviously you need to give the O2 support because oxygen saturation is reduced, and you're supposed to give physiotherapy. Okay, now this physiotherapy will involve making the tone of the muscle, making the diaphragm more stronger, making the intercostal muscles more stronger, and making the lungs more stronger to breathe in and breathe out. That means you'll be breathing, deep breathing. You'll be taking a lot of deep breathing. So when you do deep breathing, your basal lung which was collapsed, it will, due to the force, it will open up. Okay, and before surgery, it is very been advised that you start your physiotherapy of chest before the surgery itself. Okay, if you have strong intercostal muscle, if you have strong diaphragmatic muscle, if you have small respiratory muscles, it will help you to improve more faster. Along with this, you need to be very sure about the pain management. Okay, the pain management has to be very adequate, because whenever you're in pain, you go in hyperventilation. That means you breathe faster. Whenever you're in pain, you breathe faster. Okay, when you breathe faster, you'll go in respiratory alkalosis. Why you'll go in respiratory alkalosis? That means you're throwing out a lot of carbon dioxide. Whenever you're breathing faster, you're taking a lot of oxygen, throwing out a lot of carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is responsible for maintaining acidicity, like acidic. Okay, if you throw out all the carbon dioxide from your body will become basic. If you retain a lot of carbon dioxide in the body, it will become acidic. Okay, and with respiratory alkalosis, and then the muscle will become fatigue. Okay, so this is type 3 respiratory failure. So type 3 respiratory failure we'll see after surgery. Okay, and let us go to type 4 respiratory failure. This is also very important. So what is in type 4? There is no problem parenchyma. There's no problem in the lung parenchyma, but the problem here is that blood supply to respiratory muscle is decreased. The blood supply to the respiratory muscle is reduced in type 4 respiratory failure. Now what can be the cause? Can be shock. Okay, now what can be the types of shock? Can be cardiogenic, can be hypervolemic, can be any kind of shock. This doesn't matter what kind of shock we're having. Okay, then once this we know this is because of shock. Now how would you treat? Manage shock. Okay, and then you give positive pressure ventilation. Now how will you know the person is in shock? If the person is in shock, the blood pressure will go down, the pulse will become weak, but the pulse rate will increase. The person will have increased heart rate. Okay, the urine output will go down, the capillary refill time will increase, the person will be disoriented, he might be confused, and then these are the symptoms of shock. Okay, so in any circumstance, even the CO2 level is increased, no, whenever the CO2 level is increased, we have some symptoms to find out the CO2 is increased. The person will go in rapid breathing in order to throw the excess water, carbon dioxide. Shortness of breath. Okay, the dizziness. Whenever you have a lot of carbon dioxide, you feel confused, you are dizzy, you are like disoriented. Okay, confusion, you can't think properly. Fatigue, headache, tremor. Okay, so in overall respiratory failure, we will be seeing the person slowly the carbon oxygen saturation is going down. We can check it by, the best way is to do arterial gas sampling, but also you can, to see the carbon oxygen saturation, you can do in pulse oximeter, but you won't be to find out the carbon dioxide level. Also very best is to do arterial gas sampling. You will see the oxygen level is going down, and then slowly the carbon dioxide level is going up, and you will see some symptoms of carbon dioxide level going up. These are the symptoms here. Along with this, you will see the person is using accessory muscles are being involved. Every breathe is pain for the patient. The patient will be tired, he might not be able to speak properly, the person may be in going in cyanosis. So these are the symptoms of respiratory failure and respiratory distress. Okay, so this was about type 3 and type 4, and that's all. Thank you.